There are 3 invisible spending habits that will eat your retirement savings alive and throw away years of your hard-earned cash. I see this at our practice daily, where we work with clients all over the United States to help ensure that they get the most out of their savings and do not commit silly mistakes that deprive them unnecessarily. The truth is, these habits are easy to avoid, but most people have simply not been educated on them, leading to hundreds of thousands of people all over the country committing them. But that is what this video is going to help you with today. I'm going to run through each of these invisible spending habits and show you how you can avoid them in your own life. When we first start working with clients, we have them fill out a budget sheet with 7 categories and 35 subcategories. We also have a section for income so that we can see the difference between what they're bringing in and what's going out every month. Too often, we find a huge gap between what they think they're spending and what they're actually spending. And this is because of 3 invisible spending habits. These are those payments that we make without realizing it until we check our account balance. And the first of these is subscription services. From video streaming services to Amazon Prime delivery to gym memberships, monthly boxes, meal prep kits, these easy and convenient subscription services have taken over the consumer discretionary space and now have a place in all of our lives and all of our pocketbooks. Did you know that the average consumer in the US now juggles 7 different subscription services at once, with these companies raking in revenue at 200% per year? I myself have 5 different subscription services: Netflix, Amazon Prime, Marley Spoon, Instacart, and Seed. So I am no stranger to the allure of convenience and the thrill of a surprise. Now, if you are keeping a budget and are truly accounting for all of your subscription services, then this may not be an issue for you. However, if you're like most people, because these subscriptions are automatic, unless you're studying your bills every month, you may forget you're even paying them. Unlike going to a store and handing over your credit card, for most subscriptions, we're only asked to enter our payment method once. If you just have a couple of subscriptions, this can be easy to manage. However, most of us have multiple recurring subscriptions to manage, and we're not always sitting down and adding up the total cost. For example, our client Shelly recently checked her credit card bill and was shocked to find out that she had been paying $26 a month to Duolingo for Spanish lessons for the past 10 months. She remembers wanting to learn Spanish as her daughter and son-in-law speak it at home, but she only vaguely remembers signing up for the subscription and ended up paying $260 for something she never even used. But it's not just about the services that we don't use. It's actually more about the services that we do use, but that we don't necessarily need. Take Kevin, for example. He has 6 streaming services alone: Apple Music at $10.99 per month, Audible at $15 per month, Hulu at $17.99 per month, Netflix at $11 per month, The Wall Street Journal at $19.49 per month, and Prime Video at $11.98 per month. Yet, he only consistently uses Apple Music, Netflix, and The Wall Street Journal. This means that he's paying an extra $44.97 every month, or nearly $540 per year, on services that he doesn't even use or barely uses, right? Over 5 years, this is $2,700 in wasted money. In retirement, subscriptions are particularly dangerous as you are living on a fixed income. Each additional subscription you add eats into your savings without you even realizing it. $45 per month may not seem like a big deal, but over time, these amounts snowball and can drain your life savings quicker than you think. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to quickly assess which subscriptions you're paying for so that you can cancel the ones that you don't use or need. The budgeting app Rocket Money has a free version where you can sync over your accounts and see on one page which subscriptions you're signed up with and how much you're paying. Alternatively, you can sign into each of your credit card accounts and study your bills. This may seem daunting as it will take some time, but the money you'll save will be well worth the effort. The second invisible spending habit that we found retirees to be specifically susceptible to is gifting family, friends, churches, and charities. The last 2, churches and charities, are a bit easier, as these are typically sort of like a subscription model, right, with a fixed monthly amount. However, gifts to family and friends are a big one that we see all the time in our office. On our budget sheet, even though we give a line for gifts, we often see this line blank. When asked, the client chuckles and says, "Oh yeah, I didn't include that." Then, after we break down all of the little gifts that they give over the year, whether it be to grandkids, churches, friends, charities, We're both shocked at how high the number actually is. For instance, our client David simply forgot to include his monthly contribution to his granddaughter's private school, which is $350 a month. This is $4,200 per year, and she's only in first grade. If he contributes all the way up to her senior year in high school, he'll pay a total of $50,400. So even though gifts are not automatic subscriptions, they really are invisible because they don't really seem like our own expenses, even though they're coming directly from our accounts. You'd think that once your kids grow up and are off the general payroll, that you'll automatically gift less. And this may be true, but if you're lucky enough to have grandchildren, you may find a second wind of generosity and feel passionate about helping with their education, their hobbies, even their health. The reason these expenses are so dangerous for retirees in particular is that they are often unaccounted for in a financial analysis. When you work with an advisor and give them your projected expenses, these need to be completely accurate so that the Monte Carlo analysis results that actually guide your advice are also accurate. Without accounting for these gifts, you could either be told to retire earlier than you should, which puts you at a higher risk of running out of money. This habit is harder to track, as you may be giving cash instead of writing a check. To this end, you need to look at your bank statement account and account for ATM withdrawals and personal checks. Starting a spreadsheet, or even as something as simple as a Word document to keep track of your gifts, is a fantastic idea. Ask your financial planner how much you can reasonably spend on gifting per year and keep it within that figure. Awareness is the first step to mitigating this potentially harmful spending habit. The third invisible spending habit for retirees is spending on impulse. Now, while this is true for any age and stage of life, retirees are particularly vulnerable because they're not earning a paycheck anymore. They don't get to replenish their savings if they've overspent. Therefore, even small impulsive purchases put them at risk for running out of money in their old age. The definition of impulse spending is when we make a spontaneous, emotional purchase that we didn't plan, budget for, or take the time to consider. These purchases are invisible because when asked to fill out a budget sheet, like with gifts, these are also left off the ledger. Because these are mainly emotional purchases, we often don't even remember making them. And this is so common, right? Buying to relieve stress after a bad day, treating yourself after a long week, or maybe there's a sale that seems too good to pass up. In a perfect world, we would make only conscious decisions with our hard-earned money. But clearly, this is not the reality. Money is so much more than dollars and cents, and the way that we all behave around our money is a result of so many factors: childhood, values, and demographics, to name a few. This combined with internal influences like instant gratification, the joy of shopping, the feeling of getting a deal, even, fear of missing out and pressure from our peers makes avoiding impulse purchases altogether pretty much impossible. However, this should not deter us from regaining control so that we don't drain our retirement savings too early. Fortunately, these purchases are typically done on a credit or debit card, so these are much easier to track. When you look at your own monthly purchases, be sure to reflect on the ones that you may not remember making. Ask yourself why you bought the item or service and how much you've utilized its benefits. You may find that many of your impulse purchases were only good for the temporary endorphins you got when you swiped your credit card or clicked buy online. I know that when I go through my monthly credit card statements, I can tell which were conscious versus which were just impulsive. And just through building this awareness, I've been able to cut down on my own impulsive spending, and I encourage you all to do the same. Okay, now you know the exact spending habits that will eat your retirement savings alive, and now you can begin to ensure that you're not guilty of having these habits in your life. Of course, there are many other habits that will lead you to living a below par retirement that I have not been able to cover in this short video. So if you would like a team of professionals to talk through your situation and give you a nuanced and detailed game plan on how you can build the retirement of your dreams, click the link in the description. It will take you to a page where you can book a completely free consultation with us, where we can begin to help you build the retirement you desire.